do these.
Okay,
Maybe that they're.
I'll call the meeting to order, April 30, 2025, at the time and place is advertised. This is a public meeting. We are recording it.
Right, thanks, Gary.
This is with the American Federation of State County Municipal Employees, AFSCME Local 1124 negotiations meeting. Our next order of business is citizen comments. We have two citizens here. Any comments you want to make at this time? Okay, just a wave, okay. Move to the active agenda, Roman numeral 3, American Federation of State County Municipal Employees, Local 1124 collective bargaining agreement negotiations. And so if I may, ask if we can just go around the table quick, like introduce ourselves and then who the negotiating team members are so that we have that established up front. So Laura, if you wouldn't mind just kicking it off for us, please.
Laura Hanson, staff representative, and then Ryan, how do you pronounce it? Ryan is absent today, but he will be part of the negotiating team.
Pat Wilson, Union Vice President.
Morgan Schwartz, Union Secretary.
Chris Ban, Union Treasurer.
Me, sorry. Nikki Movitz, HR Director. Leah Burrows, HR Generalist.
Dan Johnson, Mayor. And my understanding is that Jennifer Tangano, City Attorney, is going to be joining us.
Yes.
Okay, she's not here, so
Like she makes us.
I'm presuming she'll be down when she can. So if I may start, okay, then what I'd like to do is ask Director Province if she can hand out some suggested ground rules for these negotiations. And,
Excuse me, Castle Stone. Do you want one? I don't know, probably take the seat right now.
And if you'd like to take a minute to review those.
Can I interrupt really quickly? Amy Gordon will also be a part of our negotiating team. She's just absent today.
Oh, okay. Is Amy gonna do it or is?
Right now I believe it's Amy, but it could be another member of finance.
Might be Carolyn London, but we'll confirm that with Amy.
Anyone
To do that, yeah. You know, that's fine. But someone from my finance, yeah, they may be trying to get others involved.
Fairly
you know,
clear.
so. Yeah, so there's, some draft ground rules for your review and consideration. And, why don't we just take a couple minutes to look at those and then, see if there are any additions or deletions. And then what I would suggest, Pat, is that, maybe you and I just, if we agree on these, or if we need to revise them, let's do that. We can just sign them and date them, and we'll both have it for our record. Okay, if there's any question moving forward.
Yeah.
Read so quick, you read right over the top of it.
I'd like to ask for a caucus, so we can go out and discuss, but do you guys have any clarifying questions after reading this before we do that? And then I also apologize, I thought this was the mayor's conference room, so is that's not what this is called?
No,
Okay.
no, this is the back conference.
Okay.
Do you guys want me to show you where the mayor's conference?
If
is?
these,
I know where it
you
is.
know, if they know, that's.
They're all his. We talking about?
I want to come there with you, so we.
You stuck up for it.
No, but it's still 10:38, we're just talking,
Oh, yeah.
no, I go record that. Make sure that, everything's still waiting.
You can, you just let her run. Represents a better record. Yeah. True. Although we just, I mean, betting is not equal positive sometimes, not always. But.
You did a good stream.
Yeah, we did it generally, we stand it.
Are you okay with us sharing?
Yeah. I could copy for you.
Yeah.
What was everyone's name? So there was Amanda. No, Laura Hanson.
No,
Amanda,
Laura Hanson. Yeah.
Pat Wilson.
Morgan Schwartz.
That she was. That was one. Yeah, one.
Yeah, Richard.
And then Chris Van. And then Ryan Horizon also on our group, but he's out. I just wanted to do the people that were here.
Well, what's new in your workaday world?
We've just been replacing all of the chlorine tanks and all the wells, they're starting to break down and have issues, so. I think we got the last one done this morning. So,
Now I have to ask a dumb question, is it pellet or is it liquid?
it's liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12.5% chlorine. And then going through all the camera updates and SCADA core updates and all that stuff over at the plant, so.
Yeah.
Been a learning curve for a lot of us. So.
Yeah.
We're currently out working on all of our road edges and our right of ways and our alleys and trying to get them all fixed up.
So like what kind of issues do you have with the road edges?
Water gets under the edge of the road throughout the winter time, freezes and fractures and busts up the road edge where it goes down to the shoulder. And when that happens, people drive away approaches where they're driving over them, and it can give us on their tires or rough ride, but as long as it's in the right of way, we're responsible for maintaining it, so. We go out there and take the blade and smooth it out, then roll it down and move on to the next one.
There's plenty of opportunity for that, huh?
Almost definitely.
I don't know if you'd seen too, I had, added to the bottom.
Always plenty of work.
The problems.
No, I know that.
Where they
See every
identify
road.
the negotiators and the spot sign. But
Oh,
it doesn't
Right.
matter.
Well, from here, I mean, I can make any changes, or, if you make changes, we can go print a new one. I don't think we need it to.
But it also gives them the opportunity to, make proposed changes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's gonna have green.
I can imagine.
Oh, and you have this? I have what? Must be completed. Oh, no, that was already in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't make any other changes, I just added those.
So,
Everybody says up above, yeah, it says like will be each sign, under communication, each side will identify its lead negotiator in the space provided below.
I'm like, I live on Richardson, and I'm down here in Southern.
Well, they're different, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here watering your lawn.
Like Rick City.
And it's literally a stream about this wide when. You know, they walk
Get our first comments.
turns the corner and it runs down the hill. It's not just wet, it's running water. And I'm gonna be warning the call to see what Lloyd does, but it seems like at some point, even though we're paying for it, it's still kind of a waste of the resource.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Did they get a broken head too? They didn't like realize that's actually most of the pressure is leaving and going straight out to the
Yeah,
street.
I mean, it's just, I mean, it's kind of a response. I think,
You had a lunch though, right?
Our first house was on Rumble Hill by the old high school.
Should just look at some.
And every about March, April, when I started watering again, I'd have 8 broken sprinkler heads from all the kids pulling up and going over the curb.
I'm thankful that aspect of it out in the county, we don't have any neighbors really.
Yeah.
Kind of legal and sister out there, so.
Yeah, I don't know, I cul-de-sac now and.
Probably significantly less traffic than that.
Well, no. I live up in the Heights. And then you got Valley View, goes into Florence. And then on the end of Florence, there's Easy Street, the last street
Yeah, you
off
can
of
get
Florence.
coffees.
So, I mean, I bet there's 40 houses, maybe past that. So I am to drive right now. It's great.
I'm trying to use this on people left.
Yeah, so you come up the hill, turn right on the valley. Above the aquatic center. Yeah, then you track that all the way back. And then Florence is your first or your second left. And then tuck back in there, but there aren't very many houses back there. It's quite enough that I set up the basketball hoop for the kids like in the street.
So this is what I got.
Oh, yeah. A lot of kids on the street.
Mhm.
Summertime, there's, I don't know, 10, all over the
Probably
neighborhood.
similar to.
You know, I just had one, I don't know, any rattlesnakes, but I had a bull snake in my garage a few days ago. Just a little,
In the peach paradise.
pushed him out with a broom.
Like it's a little strawberry,
Pretty
or strawberry.
decent.
Strawberry.
My kids go feed their horses every morning, so they leave the house. I usually leave about 6 o'clock today. I think I get that when you breakfast.
I like how they have some good, huh?
I wake up at 5, they're at 7, so they wake up with me in the morning. They breakfast, have breakfast, get his family, and when I leave, they go to take care of horses. Plus on my way up, I'm like, all right, it worked. There's a whole snake. So the kids were right behind me, well, I have to go feed the horses. So I stopped my car, get out, grab my tail, and drank off over the grass. Hey guys, there's no snake over here. Don't mess with it. Don't ever touch a snake like that, dude, because they don't know. They don't look
See,
good.
the original was supposed to be 7, now it's 9 to something.
They immediately kind of just freak you. Oh, snake, you know. I would rather react that way and not want anything to do with this than try to.
I think that's where they people catch them. Well, like, I didn't like.
But not very often, so.
Mhm. But yeah, I'm hoping maybe once they get more business, and things pick up and all. Just someone.
I know, everybody, as I started September, right as we were kind of going.
Yeah, that one I saw was good.
They said, everybody that.
'Cause these are more
works there,
similar to-
yeah, you gotta watch out certain wells and stuff
Oh, yeah.
for rattlesnakes, because we do get them,
Oh, yeah.
so. I'm not very excited about
Yeah,
that.
I kind of. Well, I'm not sure.
Is that the city well over there off of?
They're mostly 16 or
Yes.
but like since it's.
That's
A lot
what
of
the
times
spots
you
are, is
see
that
water just really like offset.
You know, I don't see a lot
Find
of
out
ice
what's
in
in that.
towns, it's usually on the
They
edges.
actually,
Up above the
gave it
Alps,
to me,
they
I
get a
think
lot
in a
of
20
brown
ounce.
snails.
Because it
But
had
not in town, I don't usually see them.
gotten bigger.
We should, like that, George.
Because we used to do that too, it's like, if you
Farmers.
had stuff,
Yeah.
and yours would be bigger.
You know, the last.
Even if it's high, like higher than that. Yeah,
2, 3,
because you
4
pay for those add-ons.
show up, you know, and then some years the bulls may show up, but we didn't get anything for probably 2, 3 years, but it's still surprising because the bulls just exploded.
I wonder what this weight
I
loss
would
is.
expect that you more.
We used to.
You know, just in the bulls.
I looked at a house up on Richardson, kind of where you're at.
Super high caffeine, like high energy foods.
Maybe too
So
much
it's like
work.
if you put it in, you'd be like all day.
We moved up to the Heights, my in-laws.
They have all
live
natural
Right
ones.
around the corner from us, the backyard quarters there is
You're
actually,
probably there, like,
so
consistently
my
every
kids
day
love it.
for a
Out
while.
our backyard, they grew up very
Yeah, they don't, and then we start taking them.
I grew up by me.
But yeah, I got, like, I don't know energy.
It's farmed out there for 120
Super
years.
crazy.
In Richardson.
Oh, yeah.
So my grandfather's father bought the farm.
Okay.
My grandfather got it going for the most part, and my dad farmed it until he passed away.
Is Amy and her stuff there?
Amy and her husband took over farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you went to some meetings.
Now, they're pretty busy. They farm, a couple thousand up in Peck, 1,000 down here, so they stay pretty busy.
That's for families land up there and they'll camp up that direction,
Yeah.
you know.
So my grandparents were, do you know that property very well? So where Powers and
Yeah.
28 meet.
Right, yeah.
The house that's way further off the road, that was the house I grew up in. My grandparents were the one kitty corner to us, so I grew up really close to my grandparents.
Somebody smell.
Is that me, chlorine?
Oh,
Probably.
is that what I smell?
Probably a little bit of
Yeah,
chlorine.
we should still work on my smeller.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, your grandfather, isn't that good?
My grandfather? No, my dad.
Right now, I think you remember.
He fell off, they were loading hay in the barn, and he fell off the back of the truck. He was in the hospital, I was trying to, they had him intubated. I was trying to figure out what happened, but
Probably not.
he had some medical issue that he wasn't gonna dealt with. He unconscious, fell off the back of the truck, broke his neck, hired hand, brought him back. I was grateful for it, I had a few days to say goodbye, but, so. And then my grandfather passed away in 2005. 4. So. Yeah, it was tragic. My mom still lives out there, so.
Beautiful, someday there'll be more houses out there, sadly.
My mom likes to, your dad told me, "You're gonna build." Now there's houses all over the place out there. Yeah.
Extending that shoreline.
Mhm. Well, then all those lots off of.
I should go home and do a look.
Last round, Powers, they were all sold.
I'll get
but-
so pissed off.
Yeah.
I
What,
worked, like,
kind of soils?
these last 2 years, mom.
They're,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
there's like, you know, Cougar Ridge and South.
Your stuff off before.
There's something, yeah.
I just want to get ready to wash all my walls and like.
no,
It does.
is it nitrous? Is that what it is? I can't remember. My grandfather had a soil study done in the nineties.
Oh, my stairs.
That they found that there was,
You get it out.
it was nitrous.
I
Tons of
tell.
nitrous in the soil, but it was like 6 feet down. But it was more nitrous than you ever want or need for farming. He's like, we could figure out how to get that out of the ground. But, Macintosh across the street from us, it was interesting. They get 3 or 4, 5, 6 more inches of rain every year
Yeah.
than we did on the other side of the road. Yeah.
think that has anything to do with the lake and.
Is it like,
I mean, the lake's there, but it's not every day.
like kind of sad, but.
Are you looking
for also? Yeah, but not a bottle, she's like a bottle.
Yeah.
And
So,
what, the bags.
Pretty well in bed.
Like 3.5 ounces. Since you never did that.
Sorry, I don't want to.
I was only back home.
Only your phone. Only which one?
Yeah.
Okay, come back to order. 10:52. We were. At number 3 on our agenda, active agenda, discussing proposed ground rules for the AFSCME labor negotiations with the city of Lewiston. So, chance to review. Who should lead? Are you gonna be the lead one?
Yeah, so today it'll be me.
Okay.
That was one of the things we talked about, you know, Ryan's not here today, so is the city okay if possibly for each session, it could be somebody different?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I understand that, because who knows, I may have to be gone one day and then I'll have to get back to my work. Not acceptable. Jennifer.
So it's gonna be a different lead negotiator each day. Can we change the provision that each side will be represented by a lead negotiator identified at the beginning of each session? And just make it that way. And then have a main points of contact for who proposals should be submitted to, and then for the agendas.
Yes.
Not having like one identified lead negotiator just affects those. So there's a little bit of a trickle effect there.
I would assume most of the times it will be myself, but Ryan is not here, so we didn't want to possibly exclude him if he wanted that role, but I would assume, most of the proposals will come from myself, just because I type them up for him. And then, agenda stuff would also probably come from myself.
Did you capture that? Oh, yeah.
Also, was there 2 spots that needed to be updated? So I got that one. Yeah.
Second bullet point. All proposals can be submitted in writing to the lead negotiator, and what did you add for that, Jennifer?
So that should be somebody else. So either call it someone else or just identify someone in particular.
Lead negotiator designee, you know.
Or staff representative.
SCME staff representative or something. Just something to identify that may not be a single point of contact there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Any other?
Yes, so. For bullet point 3 or number 3, so our statement on that is if the city is saying that's a non-negotiable item, then if you don't want to negotiate on it, in our opinions, that item stays the same as is in the current contract. So by stating can't negotiate that, that takes away our right to bargain any impact on that. So we do not agree to number 3. You notice there's no number 4. Is there supposed to be one, or is that? Yes. That's supposed to be number 4. Okay.
Number 5 is supposed to be
Yeah,
number 4.
yeah.
Okay. You just said yes, I was going to say, okay, you can read it off or.
No, it was more like, why didn't I catch that?
Then under the additional procedures number 4, on that, we don't agree to sharing our meeting notice or meeting notes, minutes, summary, because it's being recorded. So we don't see the purpose to have to share.
Are you talking about just on your side? Because, from the city side, the meeting minutes kept by the city is a public record.
If you guys want to do that, that's fine, but we don't want to share our notes, the union side.
Yeah, because it says in here that we'll like actually send them to each other, right?
Mm-hmm, correct.
I don't think we've ever actually.
So the idea, like, we wouldn't send ours either, but we would hold them as a public record.
I would think so.
So basically, like, neither shares, but we'll hold ours as a public record.
I'll get going when people are still writing. Next item was for the deadline. Of course, we would love to get it done by May 31st, but we don't want to lock it into a date because we do not know what's going to be negotiated. So to put a time limit on that, we do not agree to.
Good.
Mhm.
All right. It's our turn. So Nikki, why don't we go back?
Okay.
What? The conference room.
I know.
Oh, okay.
No, there's not. It's 55.
59.
Yeah,
Okay.
59. And 59, so we will go up to the front conference room and discuss this. We'll be right back.
Should have left the light on.
Yeah, I turned it off and it came out.
What's that?
Oh, he said you should have left the light on. I said, well, I did turn it out when it came out. Yeah.
So, turning off and on and possibly use more power.
And it ruins the light bulbs.
Hear that? The recording is still live.
They did discuss whether they were gonna shut it off in between this stuff, but they decided not to.
Didn't do the last one just because we're negotiating it, so I didn't get that.
Yes. I believe so, right? All of this recording will be public.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it says on here anyway.
Oh, you did?
I didn't.
Oh. Probably not. What do you expect them to be?
I'm not being affected here.
Is it the new attorney or is it? Everybody's just going
What, the reason for this?
Yes. Oh, man, this is what's wrong with me, Nick. It's- Oh,
I was gonna say that. Most probably won't make a call. Ryan.
Oh, yeah, hopefully they get on it started.
Well, they'll probably send out
Yeah, so what's a good thing to do is anytime you get handed stuff, put the date and the time too. But yeah, just take as many notes as you can, everybody, because that helps us get down the road. I'm like a little cold without my coat on, but too warm with it on.
I'm slightly warmer. I feel like it's not warm enough.
I should have worn my undershirt. Oh, no. Arm stuff like in the wrong, they just hit the table, the wrong spot. Then you just look like you're like.
Yeah.
So back in the day when I was working, I was like doing this kind of, I guess, some couple came in and the old guy was like, oh, what are you expecting? And I sat up and I was like, I'm not. I was just like kind of.
You don't ask that anymore.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I felt so bad. I was like, okay, no more slouching.
Well, I don't know, those guys didn't seem to see the humor in my deal about the clothes shrinking in the box. We did over the.
No.
That's.
Hey, it happens to me too.
Wife tells me that too, she said, didn't shrink.
My mom just had her birthday, she said she was 49. I'm pretty sure my other sister's 40. Yeah. 3 years old. I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense.
I was like, me and my dad's birthday, I was like, "Hey."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's just, I thought that was birthday. She said, "Why you gonna carry it in 2 years every day?"
You did.
Yeah, I did, every time. It was. Birthday. It was my birthday off rotation. You guys, that'd be nice.
I'm always around Memorial Days, like every now and then Memorial Days. I hope for my birthday, because my guys got here the day off.
Yeah. So that, you know,
Same day as my dad or my brother. And you can tell your daughter that you don't get birthdays unless she gets them. Oh, really? Yeah. No, wow.
I had to come to this out, we was, it was 3 years apart, yeah, exact same day and within just minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even within minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
They'll never have their own birthday.
Why do I always gotta share?
Share.
I feel bad for the ones around Christmas. I would run it, it's like the day after Christmas, it just, you never get nothing. And then nobody wants to celebrate your birthday, it's
Yeah.
Christmas and.
Yeah, my nephew, his son, born the day after Christmas.
Oh.
So they do it, they usually wait till like January.
It's
first part of January.
celebrated.
He's so small and stuff, so you can wait. I told him, I said, that's gonna be a little rougher when he gets older. He gets out, he's getting ripped. Nephew says, well, no, it's actually getting better. Because he eats everything on Christmas and then the next day he gets a whole bunch more because it seems well, you know.
Yeah.
Give it another week, he's getting
That was just my.
big batch of presents. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, be careful, please. Can you not see that far?
Yeah,
You got bifocals or readers to put over the glasses too?
I got
they
there.
don't like to have.
Yeah,
Well, you
as he
may
gets older, it gets worse.
The progressive just kind of moves up the.
I could at least see the clock.
Well, so, I can't see that one up there for the official time though, it's too.
Oh, I
We're
see.
gonna have a nice.
Well, on the corner of the computer,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could pull my phone out on the table, but I feel like that's a little rude.
I can see that one.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Well, it's 11:06. It's just some of them kind of blur together, okay? I'm farther away too. The personnel policy has how many? You know, off the top of your head? That's the third, is
Yeah.
personnel policy,
I think that's what
and we have how many? So what one would be lost, and then all?
there's an everything that they would have to do that pay.
Yeah, to do it.
Already.
Well, if you work though, you wouldn't get
All
all.
that stuff has to be sold before.
Yeah.
I guess
If you're off and you get called in,
You don't get all of it.
Yeah.
So
because everybody gets holiday pay.
why would-
Because it's a paid holiday.
But not other council, she said we have recognized more holidays than.
I stepped over the top of it.
Or the non-representative.
It doesn't matter, it's yours.
So there's
If I remember, it, it's in the personnel policy, and maybe it's even in contract. It says the city recognizes every governor sanctioned holiday.
Well, that's.
I was walking kind of sideways.
And I don't wanna get too far into it. But get what I'm trying to say, and like, I'm just curious, what's the, if they wanna change, but it's the same as the policy, then why want it changed? So what's that compulsion, I guess, is what I'm asking. I think it's just. Well, it's not like a triple pay, it's you get your holiday pay,
Right.
but then if you're working that day, you get double time too,
Yeah.
so it.
That's what we heard last night.
But our.
Nikki's went to home on Christmas with her family. I've got to go out and spend all
Well, I
day.
guess there's no non-bar positions that are 24/7 like some of the groups, so that's why it's not consistent, because. Yes, for them in City Hall, they aren't open, so it's not like somebody has to be there.
And then we talk about, like the police department. They just get all this at the end.
They get all their holiday pay.
They are, but they are scheduled for the full year. They know.
Oh,
that
they
they're
do their
gonna
whole
be-
schedule for the
Yes.
year?
And
That's
like,
nice of
like
them.
our department, we don't know what's gonna come in here.
Yeah.
There's gonna be car wrecks,
That's
all that stuff. That's what we keep saying, how can we do the same?
Yeah.
Does that mean, okay, when I get the phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning, a car wreck, I call everybody that works for the city, up and they all go out, stand up.
Yeah.
4 years travel.
You know,
And, everything, so I go to now.
Okay, so what is your idea?
Because that's the same one thing that they gave to me as part of my travel.
Because the positions aren't the same, there's some that would come forward, there's some that get called in for emergencies, there's some that never work outside their normal 9 to 5 or whatever it is.
The office people are doing they walk out the door at 5 o'clock, that's it. And it happens for them until 8 o'clock. That's what I walk out there. Sunday or
Emergency, yeah. Well, popular email, but it's weird.
Gotta take a picture and go, so this is.
All of it. Should know, that's good, man. But the main door, I don't know.
Take a picture and we just read everything.
Hand over like this.
Okay.
Well, you need to hear you. But then it doesn't get to your convention.
That's why I used to tell people, you know, search and respond and stuff. I said, yeah, we voted you in. Everybody voted for you.
You should have been
Nobody
there.
else voted. Yeah, does it feel important? Everybody voted for you.
I'm one.
Yeah.
Here it's supposed to be like in the eighties this weekend.
Right.
Is it?
They, at one time, it's been up as high as 93, but it keeps changing.
We're all gonna get sunburned.
Eh,
Yeah, me, I'm.
Oh, I get it. Obviously, I'm covered in freckles.
I can pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm going home and sleep through it. I work Thursday, double back Thursday night, going 8 o'clock to teach class, flagging class at LCS, get out at 1, 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'm usually
You'll
ready
be
for now.
tired.
Yeah.
Dang, how do you do that?
I've done that type of stuff my whole life.
I guess you get used to it. Yeah, I think I just think, okay, I'm done, I'm passing out.
And I was logging down South Idaho and stuff for a friend of my dad's and stuff. We logged 12, 14 hours and him and I would climb and pick up and go look at logging signals, come back, pitch an hour now. Climb back in the rigs, head out back out the woods.
Loggers are built different.
Yeah.
You got a chainsaw running in your hand and don't fall asleep.
No, well, I would hope you don't.
But yeah, I used to do that all the time, hauling, driving truck.
Wow.
A little bit of like spot lean against the window. I wouldn't think so.
It's a long story. We'll run into each other.
There's,
Yeah.
I know, but I just, could they zoom in and see it?
When the first had lost over 6 months. I hired a team up there.
No, it cost me $150 to print these contracts today, hoping to turn them in actually. But I didn't want to, I had to go to Staples.
really?
Oh yeah, I couldn't get the whole, I was like, yeah, I gotta print 10 of these, that's a lot of paper.
Yeah, I wouldn't-
I know, but I didn't want to come in over there just in case. But it's like thick paper, I think if I would have done it and I had planned it out and sent it in earlier, it wouldn't have been as much. And then I think it printed color instead of if the track changes. So. Yeah.
You might get some word or something. We're all wearing black pants and we did not talk to each other on the phone.
Blue. Yeah.
Somber colors.
No. Very good. Okay. So we have a chance to review your comments. And I'm gonna ask Lee to help me with this. So nothing on section 1, nothing on section 2. Well, this number, that's right, those go with 1, 2, 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
So communication becomes number 3.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Council direct dispatch number 4.
And 4.
And back to 5. Open your eyes, 5 is back to 5. Okay, so nothing, no changes to 1, no changes to 2. Number 3, Leah, can you just?
Under communication,
uh,
yes, so we've changed the first bullet point under communication to read. Each side shall be represented by a lead negotiator who is authorized. Oh, hang on, sorry, I have did another copy. Each side shall be represented by a lead negotiator identified at the beginning of each meeting, who is authorized to negotiate on behalf of each side. Each side will identify its lead negotiator. I'll take out that sentence. So just that.
You got rid of the second sentence?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second bullet point. Will read, all proposals for changes must be submitted in writing to the lead negotiator or AFSCME staff representative to ensure accuracy. Those are the only changes to make under communication.
I have a question on that. Then for that purpose, for the city side, would that be to the lead negotiator or to HR, or can we clarify for the city side as well on that? Cause you said you were gonna be the lead negotiator, so you want the proposal sent to you directly.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay.
Then I will get it to HR, but that's fine.
Or feel free to like CC anybody.
Yeah.
That's usually what we all do.
Yeah. Okay.
Section 3, which we now have identified as section 4. I brought back with me a copy of the minutes from the April 7th, 2025 council meeting, and let me just read the minutes to you. These were approved by the council at the last meeting of the council. And here it says, American Federation of State County Municipal Employees, AFSCME Local 1124 Collective Labor Agreement, considering entering into negotiations with AFSCME Local 1124 for collective labor agreement. Action item, Human Resources Director Province. Human Resources Director Nikki Province, based on prior deliberations, it is her understanding that they would enter into negotiations with the following conditions to align with other employee groups, including but not limited to establishing that overtime is earned after 40 hours work and would no longer include hours of vacation, sick leave, compensatory time, holidays, etc. Aligning holiday and weekend pay language with the city's personnel policy, other employees who also work overtime, weekends, holidays, designating all employees as at will and not paying additional pay for winter snow plowing and summer painting, but accounting for that in another manner, and any additional provisions determined by the council. After discussion, Councilor Forsman moved for staff to enter into negotiations with conditions of establishing that overtime is earned after 40 hours worked and would no longer include hours of vacation, sick leave, compensatory time, holidays, etc. Aligning holiday and weekend pay language with the city's personnel policy, other employees who also work overtime, weekends, and holidays, and designating all employees as at will. Councilor Spickelmeyer seconded. Roll call vote. Voting aye, Kleber, Spickelmeyer, Wright, Schroeder, Forsman. Voting nay, Klein. So that section that was, I initially identified as section 3, that is now section 4. We can remove that from the ground rules. I don't think that's an issue, but you need to be aware that the council has already directed us what we can and can't negotiate on. So
I understand that.
any questions on that?
Yes. Okay, do you believe that, given reasons for that being negotiated, put to the council might differ their recommendation of not negotiating that?
In other words, can we change that?
Well, yes, basically, if the council, I don't know what, they have been informed of as to why we don't believe that this is something that should not be negotiated and the effects, that they may change their direction of not negotiating over that.
So they call them negotiations. You can defend your position, the city can defend its position. So the negotiating team is not authorized to negotiate on this. So that's the direction we again right here, not to do that. And that's what we talked about at the meeting today. If you have, so that's outside the bargaining process here. If you have some other ideas on why that may or may not be a good idea, I would suggest that you reach out to one or two of the counselors and visit with them to see if they would open that back up. That is entirely their decision.
No question, maybe Jennifer. Doesn't it state under Idaho law that has to be negotiated?
No, there's no requirement that the city negotiate with this particular.
So, this is just a question I have. It says, mandatory subjects of bargaining and must be negotiated in good faith. However, other items like work rules, employee productivity, grievances, procedures can also be part of negotiations. It says one of those is wages, which include pay, bonus, stipends, other salary related matters, benefits or medical, retirement, dental, optical, life, and other benefits, and working conditions such as work rules, procedures, overall workplace environment.
Where in Idaho code are you reading that from?
What code is it? Yes. So I got it stages for a second. Oh. Thank you. You're right. Shape R.
Can I look at what you're looking at? Maybe I can see it from that. Oh, that's just a Google. It's just an AI tool from Google that's
Okay.
telling you that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that that's.
So those provisions apply for, so there's two labor groups that I'm aware of that in Idaho, governmental entities are authorized to negotiate with, and that's teachers and, fire unions. I'm not sure about nursing. But, teachers and fire unions are identified in Idaho code, but there's no other mandatory labor group that governmental entities are required to bargain with. So those provisions only apply to those particular groups. And then the city is authorized to negotiate through, its general powers to enter into contracts. And so there's not anything specific there.
I guess my concern or comment that is you're saying that city council has directed you not to negotiate on that item, but you are presenting a change to the contract. So to me, that is altering that article of that contract, so that is negotiating on it, and then we have the right to bargain that impact. Maybe we can find another resolution that benefits both sides. That isn't what's presented here, but something in the future we think of. So I guess that's my statement. We are bargaining it and making a change to it because it is a change to what the current practice is.
So then I guess I have a question. Are you saying then that this new contract that we're bargaining, is it a renewal of the existing contract? Or is it a completely new contract?
What our plan was to use the existing contract and then, there may be some adjustments that we present, use like track changes, so maybe this article may be changed to that, or maybe a word's added here and there, but to build off of the existing contract with possible adjustments to articles.
But would it be essentially a renewal of that contract or? a
It wouldn't be
restatement
word
of
for
that?
word renewal of it, because we would propose some changes to that current contract.
So then your position would be it's not a new contract.
It's a successor contract with minor changes or changes.
Which is basically what I believe we've done all through it. You know, we haven't sat down and just started from point A going all the way through it. We just changes within that existing contract, what we've done.
Clarifying our heads or building on. I mean, I personally would not like to start from scratch because we have a fairly decent contract to start from there, but there are some adjustments that of course we would propose.
So my understanding of this is that it's a new contract. And because it's easier to use the old contract as a template, you do that. It just makes sense to do that while you reinvent the wheel. And so everything in this contract is new in that sense, you know. And so there's probably most always changes from the old and the new. But I view this as a separate and a new contract. And I feel pretty confident that's how the council will view it as well. So we can take that out for ground rules and, but just, you know, transparency, just need to let you know what my direction is, my understanding of what the council voted on. And Pat, your question about that, I don't think you have to worry about walking a fine line between, you know, your position as a city employee, the elected governing body. I mean, they represent you just like they represent me. And so if you have concerns or questions, I would encourage you to reach out to them as your representative, and share your concerns with them.
Okay.
And then they are free to bring that back up and discuss it among that body or vote on it or direct staff, which I'm not a staff member, but I lead in the negotiation ones that they would like to consider other things. So you bet I would do that. I wouldn't sit back on my heels. So I'm not gonna do it for you.
Right, and I don't expect you to.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
that wasn't,
Yeah.
wasn't overstepping
No,
bounds.
so not at all. And so to that end, I would just encourage, you know, anyone that works for the city or in your membership, if you have questions or concerns, you know, you can ask me, you can ask HR, and we'll do the best to get you the information that we can.
Okay,
Mayor, can I also add that, you know, city council was asked to review the contract and determine what things they would like to bring forward to the mayor and staff as a direction. So I just
Mhm.
want to throw that out as well.
I don't want to say never, but. Okay, and then number 5, Leah, we have a couple of changes there.
Yeah, so in the third bullet point. So we did change the second sentence to read. Said meeting minutes kept by the city shall be public record. And that's it. And then on the fifth bullet point, right, yeah. So we will change that to read, it's the city's intent, negotiations must be completed by May 31st, 2025. If at that time there is an impasse or the contract is not finalized, the city will work the city council for further direction.
Did you, sorry, the date for that was on the 21st, or did I mishear that?
Sorry, still May 31st,
Oh, okay.
2025. But we added into the beginning, it's the city's intent.
And let me just expand on that a little bit. That's very important to me, and I know that we're gonna have our work cut out for us to meet that deadline. But we also, we have to go through budgeting, set our budget. And things move quickly around that time of year, and we have other guidelines, deadlines that we have to meet that are statutory. And we have to meet with the county and, you know, other groups, departments and things like that. So this is why we're pushing hard on that. So that we can, you know, be as prepared as we can going into that. So we bump up against that, and it's already, even when you look at May 31st, you got June, July, August, and then you're into September already. Like by the first week of September, we have to have everything done into the county and published. And that way, if there's a mistake or something, we still got time before September 30th to correct it. So it goes quick.
Mhm.
So, but I think just having good communication will help in that process. So, yeah.
That's everything.
That's everything we discussed back there, plus one phone call that I have to take. So, Lee, are you gonna print copies of those or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you guys accept those changes, I can run to my office and print new copies to be signed. Oh, and then I guess we did remove. Well, we had added, like signature lines. That are on the copies.
Yeah, I think we're okay, but I'd like to see it so we can review it.
Okay, yeah, I'll go find some new copies.
Thank you.
Okay. I think in the interest of saving a couple minutes here, the next thing that I have on here was to discuss a schedule for meetings. and dates. So if you have any right now that you know of on your schedule, we can start tossing those out. Are we meeting this Friday again?
We can.
I have it on here.
Yeah, I left it on there,
Oh,
but I don't know,
Okay.
from their group, if we
Okay.
can.
Brian's not back for a week though.
But
That's fine. We can update, him.
Okay.
He's fine with it. I talked to him about it.
Okay,
He's
It's available for myself.
Sound like we want to keep that? Friday
good.
morning?
Yeah, 10:30 still.
I have 1 o'clock right now.
Oh, yeah, I think. I should be, I forgot, I'm off that day, but I should. I'm helping my daughter with some stuff, so, but you guys can go without me.
I wanna be down too if Brian's not here though either.
Yeah,
So are you available?
I don't. I forgot. Yeah. Probably space that out.
You want to move it up or back an hour?
yeah, cause
I
I
don't-
just kind of held those on our calendar.
Huh?
Oh, I just said, I just kind of held those on our
Oh.
calendar, kind of like times.
Would the morning be better or is it?
Yeah, probably
We
morning.
could do
Morning.
Friday morning?
Yeah, because like earlier. It doesn't be helpful.
10 o'clock?
They're getting ready to buy a house and doing some stuff. I can't change, I cannot go.
Is 10 o'clock work? I'm
Yep.
being selfish here because I have a meeting at 9 that I'm trying to keep.
Yeah. As long, yeah, probably doesn't go very long. I can sing away for an hour if I had to, so.
Do you move that, Nikki? or do
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can
move
move-
it
I
on
can
my
move it.
calendar.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can move it. So we're gonna do 10 AM.
Walk 10 to 12 hours.
Do we want to do a 2-hour block or?
Well, we don't have to go that long if we don't want. but
Jennifer, I don't have to make sure that.
An hour would be great. Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be selfish when I do an hour.
I was thinking if it went longer.
Oh,
How much time would you like to walk out?
if I hit me.
sure. Whatever works for you guys, for your schedules.
Is 2 hours too long? Are we gonna run out of time and get tired of looking at each other?
Myself personally, I think, an hour and a half, I think we've probably gotten, as much as we're going to without going back and redoing things and stuff.
Okay, 10 to 11:30 then on Friday, May 2nd. Does that work for you?
I'll just have to move something with Shannon, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
So this Friday at what time?
10 to 11:30.
11:30.
Let's see, this Friday.
Mhm.
Do you have
Oh,
something?
yeah. I'm working Thursday night, working Thursday, and
Oh, you're doing your schooling.
yeah, I'm schooling on Friday. I was looking at the 9th. I'm sorry, that was my bad.
Like Monday,
Oh.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, tacos.
You
I
can buy
mean,
tacos.
we have city council at 3.
I'm in Benton County that day.
Okay. Are you just there just for the day or do you come back?
Yeah, just for the day.
Okay.
I could do the 6th, but I have to be done. I have a meeting at 9, 10, 2 hours to drive. I could do like from 11 to 2. I just have to be at Clarkson at 3:30.
What about like 11 to 1 or 11 to 12:30?
I don't know if I'll, because I have a meeting at 9 in Walla Walla. then I
Oh,
Got an hour for that and then a couple hours later, so I could do like 12:30, probably the earliest. Could you do like 1 to 3?
That was Monday, Tuesday.
May 6th.
Tuesday the 6th.
I have a meeting with the commissioners, county commissioners, so I will have to miss that, or we have to change that a little bit, but this is a meeting that's been set up for a long time and we need to negotiate that on some.
What about Wednesday the 7th? Just move day by day. Don't give me the
I'm in
time.
Crosser that day.
Oh, okay.
On Tuesday, can we start, in Walla Walla, you said getting done?
I have a meeting at 9 and then
Yeah.
I'll be here
at 3:30, so in between that, but I would need time to get from Walla
I
to
can
here.
do 3:30 to 5.
No, I have a meeting at 3:30 with
Okay.
Clarkston on the 6th.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
12:30 to 1:30, just 2 hours.
Maybe something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
On the
Tuesdays,
6th?
you're in town anyway, take
Yeah.
advantage of it.
Is Wednesday you're gone?
Yeah, I'm in Prosser and I don't know if I could get here in the morning and back to Prosser by the time I need
What
to.
time do you know processors?
Yeah, it's 2 hours from Louisville and 2 hours from here,
Friday,
so.
May 6th, 12:30 to 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
May 6th.
And if this room isn't available, we'll figure something out.
Working.
It's nice out.
Outside of the sun.
Yeah.
When's the next day you're in town?
I could do the 8th if it's in the morning, that way, or I have to just be back to Walla by 4 p.m. on the 8th. So I'd have to be done by 2 on the 8th.
We have DAC on at
At
noon,
noon, that's
but
fine.
we're pretty open in the morning.
And that may not. Maybe not.
So are you busy the 8th?
Yeah, I've
Oh, you got appointments, okay.
got a doctor's appointment.
Well, that-
Otherwise, we could do the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already have a hold on our calendars for that afternoon, the negotiations.
Yeah, I did a hold for 1:30 to 3:30.
Yeah, I have to be back on Walla by 4, so I have to leave here by 2.
12 to 1? Or 12 to 1:30?
What time's your appointment? Is that right in the middle of that?
Well, we're
My
supposed to have
appoint- My
that.
appointment's at 1.
But
Back here.
we don't know if we're gonna have a forum. So
And
It's
when's
like 3 and 3
Brian
right now, with one person possibly attending or not.
we could just-
Chris.
we could just
Brian
cancel it.
back?
Cancel it.
I'll be back by
If
next
that works
week.
for them.
But next week, what day? Like, cause if Pat can't be here the 8th,
So,
I wanna make sure Ryan can be
He'll be
here.
If we do
By the
maybe
8th?
12 to
I'll be ready.
1:30, then
That's only a week away, did he
one of
only
you
take a
attend the meeting,
week?
the other one attend our meeting.
Yeah,
And
this
then
week.
Well, the meeting's back
Oh,
here,
just
but,
this week.
yeah.
This whole week
Well,
now.
and
Oh, wait, not into
Dax
next
most likely
No.
not gonna have a forum anyway. So we could just cancel that meeting.
Or they can,
I gotta pick
Whatever,
your
yeah.
schedule.
Neil
up.
can
Hang on,
record
tell
it.
me.
Yeah, or I can sit in on DAC and then you can sit in. So does May 8th work, May 8th? Work?
if they get a quorum, can we move them to the front? Do they record their meetings?
they do.
Yes, I think DAC would still have to be back here.
Ryan will be here on the
But we could be somewhere else, like Bell Building or something.
Yeah,
What time, May?
so what time? 12?
1:30.
Do you wanna try to, is there a way to do it earlier? That way you can make it with for your
I've
appointment?
got an appointment at 1 in Thursday. Did we bump it back a half hour?
You mean like forward, earlier?
Yeah, or 11:30 to
Oh, like
1,
11:30 to
12:30, yeah.
I'm not available, but I'm not necessary.
You are always necessary.
A bunch of lawyer on wire meetings that morning.
So 11:30 to 1?
12:30. Oh.
I mean, I guess if you have to leave early, then you could just leave early, at least you're here in the beginning.
Let's start at 11:30.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really cutting in on my lunchtime, guys.
I'll buy you lunch.
We'll have lunch in the meeting. Everyone's happier with.
Can we agree to that? I'd buy pizza.
It'll take us a bunch of time to get to what we're gonna all agree to eat.
Yeah, we could bring food.
We could bring some pizza.
No.
That doesn't mean make them all lunch hours.
Can we do some other than pizza? No. Next week,
Monday, May 12th.
I have that whole day. I'm supposed to go to Everett, but I think I'll just cancel that in hopes of getting this done.
You guys have leadership in the morning, so
Yeah.
we should do afternoon, but then there's a city.
But
council
later, we
budget
can
at
move
1.
leadership too if we need to. Like this, one takes priority in this room. We have to
Well,
get this
we're pretty
done.
much, we're all open, it looks like, early
So you said
afternoon.
there's city council?
Yeah, 3.
Oh, at
Budget,
3.
well, budget meeting at 3.
So we could do like,
We do like
1 to
2:30.
When?
1
the
to 12.
12th?
Time did we agree on?
6 or whatever it's due.
1 to 2:30 on the 12th.
The sixth, okay, okay, so the sixth.
The sixth, we have.
If you guys want me to, I
12:30.
can send out meeting.
Oh, that'd be
what
great.
time of
Yeah.
meeting To everybody.
And we're just doing an hour on the sixth, right? On the other ones.
12:30 to 1, I think I wrote 1:30, but I think.
Yeah.
12:30 to 1:30 on the sixth.
So do we wanna keep
Right.
going
Well,
or?
since you're in town, then do you have time the next day in the morning?
We could, Yeah.
13?
the 13th,
Okay, it's the,
that's a Tuesday.
another Friday.
If we could start at 8 o'clock.
Friday's a no-go.
8 or 8:30.
That's it.
Oh, like Friday the 13th, okay.
Oh,
I'm slow to think of it.
Are you superstitious?
Nah, I'm good with this.
No, I just blame it on all that stuff.
Yeah, should we just do?
Friday, or the
At 8?
13th at 8? Are you guys here at 8?
Mhm.
No,
Okay.
so the 13th, 8 AM?
8 to 9:30?
Oh, yeah, there's a little play.
Oh.
Just don't watch yourself.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
Watching myself on Zooms and all those.
When are you in town after that, after the 13th?
I have the 15th free. If you want to do that, I don't know if that's too big, and then
We're all pretty open on the 15th.
Yeah, we're open on the
to
15th.
the 15th too.
What works best for you, Jennifer?
My schedule's open
Okay,
on that day.
so pick a time, Laura, that works for your travel schedule.
Anything after 10 is nice, but I can always make it earlier too if I need to.
Like 10 to 11:30.
Yes.
It was like almost 24 hours to do. If we have to bring something back.
We're not giving ourselves a lot.
I
of
mean,
time.
yeah, we're not gonna get so much
But-
room. trying to think.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we could always have been ready, you know.
It's always easier to book them now than to
Yes,
try to
squeeze them in later.
19th, I don't have anything as of now.
Well,
Or do you have stuff for 19th?
well, the thing of it is, we're getting these bunched together.
Oh, you
If we
want,
have something to take to the group, we're not having time to schedule a meeting with our members.
We can cancel it.
Yeah, we can
if need to.
cancel
We just
any
block
of
the
these.
time.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Because who knows where we'll be?
Yeah.
I mean, on any of these.
I mean, like if we're
days.
meeting a Monday afternoon and first thing Tuesday morning,
Yeah,
no, there's.
Okay, I just
accidentally
wanted
moves.
to throw that out, you know, that
Mhm.
Yeah,
because we can just put them on here and then if we need more
Change-
time for
change the
something, we can
schedule,
just change it or, you
Okay.
know, cancel one.
Yeah,
I
for
mean, if we're all in agreement about that.
good reasons not to go fishing or something like that.
could we, and then could we do Tuesday the 20th?
Well, did we decide May 19th?
well, do we want to give ourselves a day
little-
maybe in there just in case?
Okay.
So the 20th is free.
We have health trustee at 9:30 and then we just meeting at 1. So we could meet.
Somebody will have to book first.
There's interesting stuff that happens now.
Just do the 20th then? What
Yeah, we
time?
could do the end of the day.
Like we could do 3 to
3 to
4:30 or 3 to
4:30.
5.
3 to 5? Leave early if we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
What do you,
I just want to throw it out there, that's after my shift.
I mean,
We're off at 2:30.
Let. Yeah, if we're not scheduled to work, then you said come on your own. That's what I had to do last negotiations, right?
3 o'clock in for it?
Well, everybody else is being paid. I mean,
I don't, but this is what I had to do last time.
I don't know. I think, right, it's not in your contract.
I mean, I think the only other option Vicky and I have that day is like 8 AM.
No, we could do 8 to 9:30.
Yeah, we can either like do first thing in the morning or end of the day.
I can't do 8 to 9. I have a all the state legislators. On local option action committee working with legislators and attorneys and lobbyists from around the state.
You want to just do it?
First.
That's our last.
Well, maybe it's scheduled to be out.
It doesn't have to be, but like after your meeting at night, or how long is that meeting?
It's a 9:30 meeting and they tend to go till at least 10:30 or 11. And then we have another meeting at 1 with regions.
11 to noon on the 22nd, is that not enough time?
Our
Or
second or
On the 20th?
Yeah, I mean,
I got,
it just makes a long day.
what day are we on?
The 20th.
Oh, I thought they were on the 23 to 5. Okay, sorry, I was ahead 2 days. Never mind. Okay, go ahead, continue.
Okay, so the 20th. Want to do 11 to noon, is that what you're saying? Or am I off? That work better for you, Pat?
Yeah, that,
Okay, 11 to noon to 12, okay.
I mean, we could even make it 12:30.
Yeah, we're going to 12:30.
We'll just have to keep. I'll trust.
Yeah. We can do that.
So I'm gonna put it from 11 to 12:30.
Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, I'm gonna have to participate via Zoom myself because I'll be out of town.
Yes, I worked out of the office, but I can be here.
Well, but if you're both gonna be gone.
I
yeah,
only
yeah,
have
I
the
mean, we're,
22nd for the rest of the week.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're,
'cause that's
we're
all-
looking at 6 meetings
Yeah,
in, 4 weeks.
well, and it doesn't mean that at one of these other meetings, we can't
Right,
work at the
right.
later half of May, like maybe get to earlier,
Or you
See
can
what-
adjust one of them.
Well, there's only one
Yeah.
more week in
one
May.
more week in May.
You know,
If we wanted to schedule it.
Personally, I think if we just go with this and see where we're at, to where if we've gotta change something, we've got that last week.
Okay,
Put something in.
okay.
The 27th is right now very open for everybody.
Do we want to just hold that one there, that
Well,
date?
yeah,
Yeah, let's just
27
hold it.
if you wanna.
I have a doctor appointment at 10:30, 10:45,
I'm open all day.
but Nikki's open all day. It looks like,
Do after
looks like
After
we're all open all day.
or after your appointment, after lunch?
Yeah, let's do lunch so that if we need to talk in the morning. We have that time,
Yeah,
like have a pre-meet.
so you wanna do like 1 to 2, or I mean, 1 to
1 to
3,
3?
or 1 to 2:30, do like the hour and a half, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 1 to 2:30 work.
Okay.
On what day?
The 27th.
7?
The
27th.
27th,
Do 7. What time?
1 to 2:30. And I'll just send a meeting invite to this whole group. Okay.
Can you have
And
Ryan
Ryan.
too?
And Ryan, and
Yeah,
Amy.
Brian and Amy. She's on the 29th too.
Doesn't hurt to hold it. We can always cancel it.
Monday is wide open for everybody. On the 29th, or yeah, morning on the 29th.
Thursday,
So the-
Oh, yeah, I thought you said Monday.
I did, no, I think I did, but I meant morning.
Okay.
Morning on the 29th is pretty open for all of us.
is there time? Do you guys prefer?
You wanna do like 9 or 10? 10
Sure.
10 to 11:30?
Did you get those rules?
Yeah, I gave him a couple copies, and then this is a fresh one for us. I had more on my printer, they were just printing really slow, but I didn't make more on. Double sided.
I'll send that. We changed the language about below, so below is right there. Counselor Licky is calling me. I can't talk right now. What do you want? What's the date?
Third.
Pay your taxes in Washington. Well, I don't know if it is in Ireland.
Oh, it's yours with the 8th of April.
Yeah.
Those are federal taxes, so
Oh.
June 20th.
Oh, my,
December 20th and June.
you guys think Friday the 30th or?
Yeah, the 29, no.
29, okay. I didn't know if somebody was like kept going.
I have a question. For the agenda stuff, you're just like, if we wanted additional items on the agenda, but it's not the actual proposal.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
We'll just do that normal language.
it's so used.
Yeah, but if there's something additional that you want on there, generally there isn't, but.
And then I think we should sign 2 copies, one that maybe you guys can keep and one that we can keep.
I wrote on mine, okay, you have another thing copy.
That's one. Well, she would want to,
Yeah, I think we should have a copy and they should have a copy.
you can't sign one copy and then copy it.
We can do that too, if that's how you want it. However, you guys want it.
Oh, well, me.
I already printed them, so.
Oh, I think signed.
And the one that you're.
Yeah, I signed the one handed me. Let's do different signature.
There you go.
Yeah.
You should put your name on it too.
Use your name. An autograph. You know, that's what we get. Probably all over 2 cents.
So we're gonna get a copy of this one.
Yes.
These are available on the internet. Copy of the old, or it's copy. I would appreciate it.
What am I copying?
Share on council.
Oh,
Here, so we could copy the law as well.
yeah, that's a little scan it.
That's the draft on it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they approved them.
For
They're
the
signed. They're signed, the minutes are signed, yeah, you can get that.
We'll see what we can get you. We'll get you something. Okay. Probably have you on you.
See? We're gonna get copies for everyone that farts and then. The official copy of the minutes, are you gonna have to PDF and send them or?
Yeah, I could probably do that.
I would have, well, she's not here today. Just if
I
you want.
think we just said that we wouldn't necessarily share, but we would have them available as a public record as, or meeting notes for the agenda.
I'm talking about meeting agenda. Minutes.
Oh, we're talking about.
Council meeting.
Oh, okay.
Now. Caught up.
Yep.
Okay. Then also, if you have a list of any items that you find interesting, do you have a list prepared
Oh,
that you can share with us, or
Yeah, we summarize,
that we can?
oh, okay.
Oh, the red lines copies?
Yeah, but, that goes, Staples funny, I did print color, but I can email you the one with the
Okay,
actual.
to actually look at
Yes,
them, okay.
yes.
And at least underlined or like stricken through.
It's probably just hard to see.
It's hard to see it's weird,
Is
it
it like
didn't
light
strike
gray
through, it
or-
wrote deleted and put what I was deleting, and then,
Yeah,
it
you-
should
if you
be
send me
red,
the
but I can
copy,
email it
I'll
to you,
just-
yeah,
Or if you want to send it to the mayor, whatever.
so. Oh, yes, sorry. I didn't know
Yeah,
if you wanted to
we'll
start there, or.
take 'em.
Yeah.
With all that work.
I know,
Or it doesn't show the structure to them?
well, it did it weirder than normal, I don't know if word changed, but it like, it didn't print the comments, so I think you're gonna wanna see the actual email copy of it, cause
Take what I gave you, please.
if I would have printed it at home, it shows it, but
Might be a
I
road
had,
side.
I had to save it on a thumb drive to go to Staples to print, so.
Okay, well,
But,
I'll copy for now.
I can email it to you, screen share it with me, to get the computer out.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't do this on time,
we got just a couple minutes,
Oh,
so
okay.
if you wanted to
Or-
email it.
Yeah, I can definitely email it, but if you guys have a list too, you wanna
Yeah,
hand over them.
we just did a summary
Oh, okay.
of just the points of the articles.
And that's, I didn't know if you wanted to do full red lines each time, or
Yeah.
kind of summaries, or.
I didn't know how much time we would have today, so we just wanted to be able to provide something to you guys.
And this looks really long because I listed every article, but some articles are just grammatical.
There's grammatical
or no
changes.
changes. So-
Yeah. So it's not like we have a problem.
Yeah, we don't
with every single
plan to,
article.
yeah.
It's grammatical or changing small case, uppercase.
Might not be able to email it right now, because I think I left my hotspot in my car to charge.
Okay.
Unless
That's
that's
okay.
Wi-Fi here.
There is
There
Wi-Fi.
There should be a guest one.
1134.
1134, I think. Yeah.
Is it City of Lewiston or Lewiston Secured, or City of Lewiston Guest?
Yeah, it's that one. Otherwise, just whenever you get.
Yeah, like if you get back to your hotspot.
No, I gotta go to Franklin after this, so. Okay. Yeah, I might have to do it once we get out there. What did you say the password was?
1134.
I think that's for the city. Yeah.
Oh, is that? I didn't know that.
Just write the number.
I don't even think of that.
Email starts with mayor, right? Yeah.
Mayor Johnson, all one word.
And I don't have yours.
It's JTENGONO.
Cityoflewiston.org.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a sec. So I believe, in here, and, we have just changed some lane, oh, sorry.
So you take with right.
Oh, well, it didn't print the way I wanted it to, and I didn't even realize that till it got here, because I wasn't allowed to touch it with them. Change some wording on. Of course, the first change was the dates 2025 through 2027, so a 3-year contract. That would be 2 years. 2020. Oh, it should be 28, sorry, yes, so that's a change. Then I would like to change on the original proposal. No, wouldn't it be 25, 26, and 27? No, yeah, you're right.
You count, because our
The
current contract
mid-year-
ends
Yeah,
September.
So 25 to 6, 26 to
Mhm.
7, and 27 to 8.
With 30, why not?
it's that mid-year one, and thinking that far in the future is hard. So I apologize, that is an error on that. It is a 3-year we're proposing. The first change was made on Article 5, under the personnel policy. It used to read the union will be advised of proposed changes to the personnel policy prior to the adoption. I added the union president and staff representative would be advised, and then added 30 days prior to the adoption. So we're requesting to get that notice 30 days in advance of proposed changes. That's page 6. This change was under Article 10, which I added in there. Did it underline? It probably didn't, did it? Mhm. I apologize. Just added in there that the staff representative will also serve as a steward for the local, and then I am not included in the count of the 4 for the local, for the employees. Page 13.
What was it, the staff
Uh,
representative?
Is
shall-
not included in the 4, for the
Very
stewards.
last sentence.
Yes,
Oh, okay. I thought there was something about the staff representative will also serve as a steward.
yes, as a
Okay.
steward.
Okay.
The next one was under bereavement leave, Article 17, page 36. Which is my understanding it's current practice, but I just added 3 days per occurrence, just to clarify that. So I added in per occurrence in the very first sentence. Next one is under Article 18, Section B. We are proposing to increase the boot allowance to 225. Was previously 175. It's our Article 20, repeals Section 4, page 39. Put in there that the first 3 wages. Yeah, it's under health. Oh, 21, sorry. 21, section 4, medical insurance. Just that the quarterly information on the medical report is also provided to the union and the staff representative. And the next one is Article 22 wages. So for 2025, October 1, we're proposing a 2.667% COLA increase, which is using the January through March PIW. And then for year 2 and 3, we are proposing the same calculation, but with a minimum of 2.5 and a maximum of 5 for both year 2 and 3. It's under Article 24 for duration. Just updated the dates, but the one I sent has 2027 and it should be 2028 for the April 1st date. And September. Probably drug policy, we didn't propose any changes on that. I want to say, I think just the next one was updating, the names under the signature lines. As, I'm going to replace Bill with Morgan's name. And that's what we had.
That is another one. Right, I do that.
Yes, we'll talk afterwards.
Oh, yeah, I thought they needed to know everything.
Okay.
Huh?
You forgot to come last night.
I didn't forget, I couldn't go.
Oh,
Told
okay.
Ryan I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
He
forget,
told
that's
me.
why I had him come get the.
Oh, okay.
And then that last sentence, 2022 should be 25.
Yeah. 28, or, okay, hold on.
Oh,
Just the day they signed it.
day.
Yes, I think I forgot to do that one too. I apologize.
Okay, I just saw it, so I thought.
Yeah,
Yes.
Carrie has to be changed.
Yeah.
We have one.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in the ground rules, but do we have a, I know last year Pat was saying, I think it was the third meeting, no new items are you wanting to do that this one?
Do what now?
For proposing new items, if there's any additional new items that we would like to propose in articles that weren't possibly in the first, or that weren't in the first proposal.
I don't have a problem with new stuff coming in.
Okay, I didn't know if we wanted to set a time limit after such meeting.
Well, I mean, unless I'm missing something, I think for the most part, I think we should have a pretty good feel for each other and know if that's reasonable and try to work it out, you know, if not, just have to say we can't. But,
Okay.
you know, and you guys have the same privilege. That's kind of how I think about it, but again, I'm kind of the rookie here still. Is that gonna give us a problem?
Yeah, that's fine. I think the intent for that is so that people don't come back last minute with something if other things have already been TA'd. You know what I mean? Because then it's kind of makes it a little underhanded, but,
I think we all
I think
understand.
we all understand not to do that, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, well, we can marry these two documents, ours and theirs, and the outline stuff, because I know that there's comments that have been made on our recommendation.
And so is that something Mayor, like, include some of theirs and then send them our version ahead of time for them to review and bring on Friday?
Well, I think we're.
Would you like to do that, or
Yeah, if you guys can give it to ahead of time, that, through
are we
email.
meeting Friday?
I thought we next Friday.
Tuesday.
What? Is that next Friday or not?
I still have
I
Friday.
have May 2nd, Friday, 10 to 11:30.
I crossed it out.
Oh, I crossed it out.
Yeah.
No, it's no,
May
it's
sixth.
not. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't pay attention, huh?
Well, regardless, because of idea.
That'll give us more time to make sure our language is how we want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Friday was,
But yeah, if you have something
Tuesday.
through email,
Send it to you,
yeah,
and
then
we
we
can have
can,
a chance to talk about it.
Friday's
before
the
you,
second.
Get ahead of the.
yes.
So next meeting is like a week away.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Next Tuesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be really roomy. By the time I get out.
City council.
Yeah.
Just don't look at
It's, yeah, it's
Not
always
like that,
been,
like we sell it.
it's always been like that.
Can't change it now.
it. Okay.
so, yeah, can we marry the two and then have that available for everyone to look at?
Mhm.
There's gonna be things that we're looking
Yeah,
at.
we'll talk about the things they proposed and the things that we've edited in ours and then
And we'll
give
get
them,
your color
give them a
copies.
red line.
Yes, I emailed it, so it should
Yeah.
hopefully
Okay.
have gone through, hopefully. Not
We'll
submitted.
get that out, just.
I haven't got anything, so.
I haven't either, but maybe you'll get to one if I even put the other way. Then, you know. How that happens.
Sent. I sent, but I don't know I hit send. Oh, outbox. Stuck in the outbox. Maybe it didn't connect to the internet. Oh, I probably I gotta go in and do the guess, yeah. Was 11:34 twice?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just clean up. We're excited to see how it all.
Well, Laura, if we don't see it come through, we can reach out to you.
Okay, yeah, it's set in my Outlook or Outbox, but I know there's a box in here to like forward or push it forward now that I'm connected to the internet, but
Maybe it's not secure, internet for your computer.
possibly.
Or maybe about the city is listed as spam on your computer or something.
I had a call with Franklin County and I kept calling, she's like, we're not getting your emails. I was like, okay, let me send you a test one. That one goes through. But then with stuff with the attachments, it would never go through.
Did you get a copy?
I have the signed, yeah, I have the signed.
Can you just run it through the photocopier for one, for now, for the signed one?
Oh, rather
that'll
than email
work.
you a copy?
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
work for me.
Yeah, we're back.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Laura, if you're taking longer with that, you're buying your lunch. Just saying.
Taco Bell?
Taco. Yeah, I'll buy my own lunch.
You don't like Taco Bell? Are we adjourned?
So we wait till Lynn gets back, so
It's up to
she,
you. I just don't wanna not.
she is the official person, yes, I'm
Have
sure.
it. I just wanna make sure you spell the name.
Okay, sorry. It's still sitting here, JTENGONO.
Yes.
Okay.
Even I can tell people, and it's just, that's why I just don't say my last name, because it sounds different than it's spelled.
Okay, it's not in my outbox anymore, so it should be coming through.
First.
I should have updated those dates before I sent it to you, for the
Oh, it's
ending
okay.
dates.
Yeah, that way too.
Oh, I get my notepad back?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. It's almost done.
Oh, I
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
No, you're back.
Yeah, no, you can say it.
Okay.
No.
What?
Are we adjourned? Still leave us that?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
You're ready.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, well, we are adjourned. It's 12:15. Thank you, everyone.